Star Wars Squadrons is the game that I have been waiting for a very long time now. It is something that I have wanted ever since EA got the license to the Star Wars franchise, and I cannot wait to play it. This is going to be a very fast-paced, very focus-centered game, and in this video I'm going to be going over basically everything you really need to know about it and just giving my thoughts on everything overall. And this video is mainly going to be going over the multiplayer aspects. As we all know, this does have a single player as well, but that's pretty much going to be for a separate video, as multiplayer I think is where this game is really going to shine. So first of all, this game is entirely in first person. This is something that a lot of us were speculating about whenever it was announced and then whenever the first teaser trailer came out, but it has officially come out that yes, that is true. The entire thing is in first person, and I have seen some people say they don't like this, but for the most part I think everyone can agree on that having a first person only Starfighter game is not only going to be unique, but very immersive as well, which appears to be one of the main targets the developers at Motive have been striving for, and I think they are so far doing a great job with it. And I think what makes this even better is the fact that this entire game is fully functional with virtual reality, but not just VR, but also a pilot joystick. So you can use a joystick which is completely compatible with it and actually made for them, just like racing games are compatible with Thrustmaster racing wheels and stuff. I had one and it made it a lot of fun, and so the fact that this is going to be compatible with the joystick, I'm going to have to pick one up myself. Personally, I'm probably going to get this Thrustmaster one, as it seems to be pretty much the most popular one. This isn't sponsored or anything by them, but personally for me, I'm more than likely going to be picking up this one. But yeah, speaking of immersion, the entire UI or heads-up display is actually mounted within your Starfighter's interior. So everything you will need to see, like your map or radar, or your ammunition amount, the amount of missiles you have, your ship's status indicator, and many more things, is all built within the control panel. And this image right here actually shows everything and all the functions it has, and I think this is just a genius way of doing things and makes it a lot better for being first person only, because Battlefront 2, I absolutely love that game. But one of the major complaints was that the user interface was just too clustered. It was too, random and didn't look the best. Luckily, before the game support ended, they did update it and allow us to basically remove everything on it, and they actually made it look a lot cleaner and nicer. But the fact that this Squadrons game is having it completely built in within the ship is just genius, and I cannot wait to see all the features. Also, it seems that Hera from Star Wars Rebels will actually be one of the main commanders when playing as the New Republic, which is pretty sweet. We even see Wedge Antilles in a quick shot, so I'm wondering if there's going to be any more cameos within the game. But let's talk some multiplayer specifics. So there are actually 8 ships that you can choose from. Each are going to be within a certain coordinated class, a lot like Battlefront 2, which I like. So for the fighter class, we obviously have the TIE Fighter and the X-Wing, the two classic ships we all know and love them, and this is more than likely going to be the main class I play, as the X-Wings are my favorite ship in Star Wars, specifically in the original trilogy for Star Wars, and it was just the main class that I used in Battlefront 2, and I think overall it is a pretty good balanced one. So yeah, this will more than likely be the main one I play, but of course I will be using the other ones, so maybe my mind will change after using them. So let's talk about the interceptors now. So these are, like in Battlefront, the classic A-Wing and then the TIE Interceptor. So these are mainly built for speed rather than damage. They don't have the best armor, they don't have the best damage output, but they are extremely fast and very maneuverable, which is something I love. Personally with me, I love racing games, fast cars and stuff, so the interceptors are also one of my favorites because just going fast is just amazing, and we can see them kind of speeding through in this trailer, and it just looks very awesome, so I'll definitely be using these as well. But next up in the classes, we actually have the support ship class. So this appears to almost be like a reinforcement type. So obviously they are supportive, and we aren't really too sure exactly how they will work, but they are looking to be very unique compared to the other ones. So first off, in the New Republic side, we have the U-Wing, which of course was first introduced in Star Wars Rogue One. We all know and love this ship. And then for the Empire side of things, the brand new TIE Reaper, which just looks like a bigger TIE Striker, but I absolutely love the design of them, and they just look very, kind of Empire-ish, very evil looking, and almost like a hero, or I should say a villain ship, and they just look amazing, so I can't wait to see how these really turn out gameplay wise. We do know that these aren't going to have the best damage output, but they will be extremely tough, but not as fast either. So these are really for supporting your team or squadron, and it actually appears that you can shoot out a sort of back-to bomb at one of your team starfighter, which will heal it, and I think that's a pretty cool feature. And then the final part of the class system is actually the bomber class, and I'm pretty sure you guys already know what this purpose is. It's pretty much in the name. These will have a high damage output, very strong armor, but that results in them being extremely slow like in Battlefront 2, so you better hope that your teammates have your back when attempting to destroy the enemy's objective as playing as one of these. So the two ships in this class include the TIE Bomber as well as the amazing Y-Wing. But that is the class system. I think it's pretty well fleshed out. I'm wondering if they're going to be adding more as time goes on. They did confirm that there will be, or at least no plans of DLC, which is unfortunate, but at the same time, it is good to have a game completely finished at launch instead of having a sort of live service situation, so I am okay with it. But there are a ton of ships in Star Wars, so maybe they'll pull a Fallen Order and just include a random update in the next like 6 months from the game's release. They'll have a bunch of random content and stuff, and just a lot of new fun things added to the game. I'm sure that will happen. But next up, I want to talk about customization, and wow, I cannot wait to see all the options we have. So for now, at least, we see a few different paint jobs within the trailers on the X-Wings and Starfighters and stuff. So we can expect to see a lot of different vinyls, even racing stripes, and, you know, full-on paint coatings as we see in this shot. And what's really funny is you can actually go to your hangar to have your own personal sort of mechanic when needing to fix up your ship or upgrade it, and we'll get into those upgrades in a bit, as well as new customization for it. And it's funny because this really reminds me of going to Los Santos Customs or even Benny's Auto Shop in Grand Theft Auto 5 Online, so I wonder if the developers took any inspiration from it. But also, in this quick shot, we actually see an Ewok bobblehead just chilling in your fighter. So EA, if any of you working there or watching this video, please, please, please let me add a Porg bobblehead to my fighter. I don't care if it costs real money, even though they already said there's going to be no microtransactions. I am willing to pay money for it. I really want a Porg bobblehead. And what's funny is I actually have a Porg plush, you know, a little small one, sitting in the corner of my dashboard in my car in real life. So I'm sure I would do the same if I was actually living in Star Wars. But next up, I really want to talk about this topic, which really excites me, and that is the amount of upgrades you have. So there are over 50 of these, which is 60 to be exact, different ways to improve your starfighter, and these range from different cannons, including a rotary cannon, a laser cannon, which we see a few times, which looks like the thing that the LAAT gunship had, so I'm really curious to see how that works, as well as ion cannons and many, many more. There's also a bunch of different missiles you can choose from, different hulls, different shields, and so much more. So the amount of customization work that has been put into this game really amazes me, and I cannot wait to try it out myself. But as of now, there are two main modes in the multiplayer that I want to quickly go over. So the first one is a simple dogfight mode, which is just a basically 5v5 team deathmatch. Now this, you know, it's not very complicated, it's very basic, but that's not too bad. This will be really good for, you know, improving your skills, improving your ability to play, and will just be a pretty good practice before you get in to the main mode, which is actually called Fleet Battles. So I'm sure you guys kind of have an idea of what this is. You basically get into a squadron of 5, which, by the way, if any of you want to squad up, please let me know. I'm trying to get a bunch of people that I want to play with within live streams and stuff, and because this game is actually crossplay, meaning since I play on PC, I can also play with people on Xbox or PlayStation and the other way around. It will make it a lot easier to play with you guys, so be sure and let me know, you know, the closer we get towards the release date, if you guys would like to squad up during my streams and stuff, and I'll be sure and get you guys on the list. So I'm very excited to see that, but basically you get in the squad of 5, and you actually meet up in the social hub, as it is called, which is just, you know, the main place in your hangar bay that we see throughout the movies, and you actually come up with a plan or strategy throughout this time on how you're going to complete the objective. And just like customization, this really reminds me of the online heist missions in GTA Online, which I think is pretty great, and I wonder if they did take a lot of inspiration from it, which is completely fine. But first of all, you go into a simple dogfight. I'm assuming it's going to be like the 5v5, and then after that, you have an attempt to take out a medium-sized capital ship. I believe there's going to be 3 of them, and then if you're able to complete that, the final phase is the big phase, and this is where you're going to try and take out the main components of the enemy's massive flagship. So this looks pretty awesome. It reminds me a lot of Capital Supremacy in Battlefront 2, where you have different phases, and I'm really hoping there's no, sort of cutscenes. I hope like maybe you have to go through a hyperspace or something. Maybe that can be the cutscene, a lot like in Fallen Order when moving places. So I think this mode has a lot to offer, and while we don't know, too much about it besides the main points, it does appear to be very cool, very realistic, and very immersive from what we've seen within the trailers. And this really reminds me of taking out the capital ships in the classic Battlefront 2's mode, where you had to take out certain points of the ship and stuff. So I'm wondering if you can actually fly your ship inside of the hangar and jump out and shoot it up from the inside out. I don't know if that will be a mechanic they'll add, but it still would be a pretty cool feature to see, so maybe they will add that in the future. But of course, if the enemy team completes the objective first, the first or second one, then you will be the ones defending your own capital ships and trying to stop them from taking it out. And there are also a bunch of different looking planets and very unique looking ones as well that you will be able to play on. I'm very looking forward to seeing all of them. We actually have this list that I think either Kevin or Jay Ingram posted out. I'm not really too sure, but it is one of them, and we get a nice list. I don't know if this is all of them or if this is just the ones that have been confirmed so far. We're not really too sure, but so far they do look very cool, and I cannot wait to see them. But yeah, that is so far pretty much everything you will need to know about Star Wars Squadrons. I really cannot wait for this game. I know some people aren't fans of Starfighters, which is completely fine. It's not everyone's, thing that they really want, but personally, I absolutely love them. Like I said in my last video, Poe Dameron and Han Solo are some of my favorite characters within Star Wars, so I just love being in a Starfighter cockpit and taking out capital ships and taking out enemy ships. It's just a ton of fun, and I really need to buy that pilot joystick, and if I have the money saved up for it, I will even probably buy a virtual reality headset just because of this game, because it just seems so immersive and so much fun. And so yeah, this game also costs $40, which is a lot cheaper than the typical $60 that a AAA game, releases at. So that's a plus. You can actually pre-order it right now and get a few different skins and customization stuff. There's no pay to win, no microtransactions or anything, so don't worry about that. But if you want to have some probably unique bobbleheads maybe, and then some different paint jobs and stuff, go ahead and pre-order it, closer to the date or whatever, if you really want to. Personally, I'm going to be doing that at some point, just because I can't wait for the game. But that is pretty much going to do it for this video, guys. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of it. Are you excited for this game? Can you not wait like I can't? Or are you just kind of 50-50 with it, you think it looks fun, you might pick it up when it's on sale? Just be sure and let me know in the comments down below. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, be sure and leave a like on it. And as always, if you are new, subscribe for more Star Wars news, gameplay, and more. And I'll hopefully see you all in the next one.